Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Y.S. Rajput, working as amateur scientist at National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal. Today, I am going to teach you about very important technique, transmission electron microscopy under the paper Biochemical Techniques. Many biochemical techniques can fall under different categories such as spectroscopic techniques, chromatographic techniques, electrophoretic techniques, radioisotopic techniques, microscopic techniques. Microscopic techniques deal with magnification of objects which cannot be seen by naked eye. Magnification of object enables understanding of the fine structure of object, cell, the unit structure of higher organism, the bacterium cell and fungal cell cannot be seen by naked eye. These can be seen by eye at appropriate magnification. Light microscope have been invented to see live cells. It can provide magnification of 50 to 3000 times. Objective lens and eyepiece both contributes to magnification. Desired level of magnification can be obtained by selecting eyepiece and objective lens. There is a limit to which magnification is possible with light microscope. In these microscope, light source along with lens is used for viewing magnified object. Higher magnifications can be achieved if photons are replaced with electrons. When electrons are used for visualization of magnified view of the subject, the machines containing these features are referred as electron microscope. It is made clear here that electron microscopes are used for achieving magnification which cannot be attained by light microscope. Electron microscopes are of two different types. These are transmission electron microscope and scanning electron microscope. Today, I shall be elaborating the technique of transmission electron microscopy, which is commonly abbreviated as TEM, that is TEM. Today's presentation will cover three objectives. First aspect of presentation will look into working principle of transmission electron microscopy. Transmission electron microscope is an instrument that involves many components. What are the various components and how these are assembled in transmission electron microscope will be explained. Last section of presentation is focused on applications, advantages and disadvantages of transmission electron microscopy. This slide shows concept map that will be followed in this lecture. We will first study the various components of transmission electron microscope, which include electron source, lenses, vacuum chamber, condenser, sample chamber and screen. In the next section, we will cover the various steps involved in working of transmission electron microscope. we will discuss how image resolution is achieved in transmission electron microscopy and the scientific basis behind it. The sample preparation technique for transmission electron microscope, that is processing, embedding and polymerization, all these three components will be discussed. Lastly, the advantages, drawbacks and various applications of transmission electron microscopy will be discussed. Typical image of transmission electron microscope is shown at right side of the slide. You can well realize large size of equipment. Transmission electron microscope is a powerful microscopic tool. It uses high energy beam of electrons which is made to pass through a very thin sample to produce high resolution two-dimensional image. Transmission electron microscope operates on the same basic principles as the light microscope, but uses electrons instead of photons. The images obtained from transmission electron microscope provide information on morphological, compositional and crystallographic parameters of the samples. This slide shows us the various components that are involved in transmission electron microscope equipment. These include electron source, electromagnetic lenses, vacuum chamber, condenser, sample chamber, phosphor or fluorescent screen. Additionally, computer setup and related peripherals are also required. We can see that electron source includes electron gun, which are again of two types, the thermoionic electron gun and the field emission gun. As stated earlier, electron source is one of the very important component of the transmission electron microscope. It works as a source of electron. Filaments when heated can generate electrons. Electron gun emits an intense electron beam into the vacuum. There are two types of electron guns. These are referred as thermionic electron gun and field emission gun. The thermionic emission emits electrons from the metals when metal is heated. The filament of the thermionic electron gun is made from material with a low work function, which means that the electrons have low threshold energy and can be emitted easily and also in large numbers. The most commonly used thermionic electron gun is tungsten. Field emission gun emits electrons from a metal filament in presence of strong electric field. As compared to thermionic emission, a lower temperature is required in field emission gun, which provides higher source brightness. A very good vacuum is essential. Other components of transmission electron microscope are vacuum chamber, condenser and electromagnetic lenses. Air must be evacuated from the column so that the electrons do not collide with available air molecules and scattering of electrons are thus avoided. The optical system of the microscope is therefore vacuum enclosed. A series of pumps, for example, rotary pump, diffusion pump, are used to achieve vacuum for this purpose. Magnetic coils work as condensers and along the column magnetic coils are placed at specific intervals. These coils help to focus the electron beam on the sample surface and therefore serves as a electromagnetic condenser lens system. Components of transmission electron microscope also include sample stage and phosphor or fluorescent screen. Sample holder or stage consists of a mechanical arm which holds the specimen. Imaging system consists of a screen with a phosphorescent plate. The plate glows when electrons, after having passed through the specimen, hit the plate. Additionally, transmission electron microscope requires constant maintenance of voltage, power supply and water for cooling. Transmission electron microscope is a large instrument and thus require special housing and maintenance. The equipment is housed in an area that is vibration free and also free from the influence of external electromagnetic field. Diagram depicts various components of transmission electron microscope that we have discussed so far. Filament is located at the top, then down the line is magnetic lens and sample holder. Dear students, it may be clear by now that transmission electron microscope has many components and requires specific housing. The environment has to be free from electromagnetic interferences and housing free from vibrations. Equipment is placed in specially constructed laboratory. Equipment is expensive and is to be supported by trained manpower. Only selected laboratories in India have this facility. Now we will discuss the working of transmission electron microscopy. We will see that the transmission electron microscopy works through a number of steps that involves all the components discussed so far. This slide shows how transmission electron microscope works. An electron source placed at the top of the microscope. The source emits electrons which travels through the previously evacuated microscopic column. The electrons are then made to pass through multiple electromagnetic lenses that focuses the electron into a very thin beam. These lenses are tubes wrapped in coil and referred to as solenoids. The electron beam strikes the specimen surface and then travels through the specimen under study. While some electrons are scattered, some passes through the specimen and are scattered by internal structure within the sample. This scattering depends on the density of the material present. Unscattered electrons at the bottom of the microscope hit a fluorescent screen or a photographic plate, giving rise to an image of the specimen which provides information on various parameters of the sample such as the structure, texture, shape and size. A high resolution black and white image is produced. The image can be studied directly on photographically with a camera. The image can be manipulated by increasing or decreasing the speed of electron flow or by changing the electromagnetic wavelengths. The resolution of images obtained by transmission electron microscope is much better and many orders higher than that of the light microscope. The speed with which an electron travels is correlated with wavelength of the electron. According to de Broglie equation, lambda is equal to h divided by mv, where lambda is the wavelength, h is the Planck's constant, m is the mass and v is the velocity of a particle which is an electron here. Thus, higher is the speed of electrons, shorter is the wavelength. Further, as the wavelength reduces, the resolution increases and so does the image quality. Resolution of the microscope can therefore be enhanced by accelerating the voltage of the electron beam. Transmission electron microscopy can reveal finest details of the internal structure, such as the ultrastructure of organelles, viruses and macromolecules. Some of the essential requirements of the sample that is to be analyzed by transmission electron microscopy are shown here. Sample need to be thin for electrons to pass through. Samples are required to be able to withstand the conditions of vacuum. Samples may often require special preparation. Three main steps for sample preparation are processing, embedding and polymerization. Processing includes fixation, rinsing, post-fixation, dehydration and infiltration. The purpose of fixation is to preserve the sample by the use of fixative agent. For example, a commonly used fixative is glutaraldehyde. Fixative stabilizes the cell structure and helps prevent further deterioration of the sample and preserve it as close to the living state as possible, although it is no longer a living entity. Fixation leads to minimum alteration to cell morphology and volume. After fixation, the samples need to be washed with a buffer to maintain the pH. The commonly used buffer is sodium cacodylate buffer. A secondary fixation is carried out with osmium tetroxide. The secondary fixation increases the stability and contrast of the fine structure. By binding to phospholipid head regions, osmium tetroxide creates contrast with neighboring protoplasm. Osmium tetroxide also helps in stabilization of many proteins by transforming them into gels without destroying the structural features. Dehydration is done to remove water from sample. Since the epoxy resin that are used in infiltration and embedding step are water immiscible, it is critical to remove water content in the tissue sample and replace it with more miscible organic solvent. In infiltration step, epoxy resin is used to infiltrate the cells. It penetrates the cells and fills the space to give hard plastic material which will tolerate the pressure of cutting. After processing, now we will look at embedding and polymerization. After processing, the next step is embedding. This is done using flat molds. In polymerization step, the resin is allowed to set overnight at a temperature of 60 degrees Celsius in an oven. Then next step in sample preparation is sectioning. A specimen is required to be cut into very thin sections so that electrons can pass through them. These sections are cut on ultramicrotome, which is a device with a glass or diamond knife. For best resolution of sections, these must be 3 to 60 nanometer thick. These sections are then collected onto a copper grid and viewed under the microscope. Main advantages of the transmission electron microscopy are: transmission electron microscopy provides topographical, morphological, compositional and crystalline information. It is possible to analyze shape, size, structure and texture in transmission electron microscopy. Transmission electron microscope can provide information on element and compound structure. Transmission electron microscopy provides high magnification and high resolution images. There are certain disadvantages of transmission electron microscopy. These include: equipment is large in size and very expensive. Sample preparation process is laborious. At the same time, there remains a possibility of potential artifacts in sample preparation. Interpretation of artifacts appearing in micrographs may require considerable expertise and experience. A special trained operator is required for operation and analysis of data and the image. Samples remain limited to those that are thin for the electron to pass through, able to tolerate vacuum and are small enough to fit within the sample chamber. The instrument requires special housing and maintenance. Color images are not produced. Living specimens cannot be observed because of the whole system is operated under vacuum. Transmission electron microscopy have wide range of applications in scientific, educational and industrial fields. For example, transmission electron microscopy finds its use in semiconductor analysis, production and manufacturing of computer and silicon chips. It is also widely used for research and development. Dear student, let me summarize what we have discussed. Transmission electron microscopy is a powerful microscopic tool that provides highest magnification with highest resolution. Overall, technique including the sample preparation is laborious, equipment is expensive, qualified technical hand is required in operation of equipment, artifacts are possible and experts are required to interpret the results. Fine structure can be revealed by transmission electron microscopy. Sample preparation is very crucial for deriving fine structure of material. Dear students, it is now time to realize the importance of the transmission electron microscopy which we have discussed so far. kindly note it that this is a rare facilities available in selected few laboratories in India, but this technique is very powerful for understanding the very fine structure of the cell, which is the building block of our life. This will provide you opportunity to understand the life science in greater depth and make you understand how the biochemical reactions can occur inside the cell. So, this will provide a very support material for understanding the life in general and the chemistry in particular. Thank you very much for attention to your listening this particular module to understand the concept in the electron microscopy.